Good morning. Another beautiful day here in north central Portugal. This morning I've got an easy job, so it shouldn't take very long. So my job for today is to clean out all the weed, the extra weed that came out again on the garlic patch, and then put some straw on it, and then just to take all the weed out under these Portuguese kales. Prune the kales because they're supposed to look like a tree, but they've been growing, side shoots like crazy. So I need to prune them all and then fertilize it and put straw on it to keep it all nice and wet, because the soils are really, really, really dry at the moment. So that shouldn't take very long. Hey. Okay, easy. Calm. Yeah, okay, good. Calm. Calm. Oh, hey, calm. Okay. Okay. My balls! Jesus. Okay. Alright. Hey. No. Okay. Right, good job. Just finished in time before the dogs came. Right. Let me show you what I mean when I say I need to prune the kales. Okay, let me bring you down to the ground level. Right, you see all these shoots that are coming out from the bottom. There's one here. So I have seen these kale growing in other Portuguese garden, and what they should look like is just one main stem that goes up to the very top, and there shouldn't be any side stem coming out of it. I think the point is that to focus the nutrient to go right to the top without turning into branches. So that's what I'm planning to do. I'm going to cut off all the side branches and then give it a fertilizer, give it a water, and then mulch it with straw. So hopefully it will continue to grow much bigger, because so far at the moment I think it's about 5 feet tall. I know they can grow to really high, so I think they need more nutrients and more water. So that's the next thing I'm going to do is prune them first. Okay, it's looking much better, much cleaner, much tidier. That's exactly how it should look. And I've got a lot of kales here to eat. I won't be able to eat all these in one go, so I'll be chopping some of them and freeze them for my next meal. But yeah, looking good. So about 2 weeks ago, I planted some courgette seeds in a tray. Last year was my first year trying to grow courgettes. If you ever, go online and ask people about courgettes, they will always say, 5 plant is enough. If you get 5 plant, you're gonna get courgette coming out of your ear. And so last year I planted 5, and I thought I would be getting so many courgette I can give it to the neighbors and my friends, but I was just getting just enough courgette for myself. I get about 2 a week, and I love courgette, so I eat a lot of courgette myself. So obviously, it all depends on your soil condition, the temperature, the weather. Obviously that factors into how many courgette you grow. Anyway, so this year I'm growing a lot more courgette than last year. So yeah, so 2 weeks ago I planted the seed. I want to show you what they look like now. So here they are. They only just start popping up. You can see them. They look really healthy. Some of them hasn't come up yet. Maybe a couple more days. So this is, I have 13 courgette here, and it's a mixture of 2 different types. So last year I planted, the 5 courgette that I planted were Black Beauty, were these ones. I finished all the seed as a mixture, and then this year I got some green machine. Hopefully they will grow faster. So in this tray there's a mixture of green machine and Black Beauty. So I don't know which one is what, because I just mixed them together since I'm going to plant them together anyway. So here are, there were 13 of them. Hopefully all 13 of them will grow, and I'm gonna get plenty of hey, excuse me, I'm gonna get plenty of courgette this year that I can start giving them to my neighbors and friends too. Whoa, hold on, these dogs, seriously. If you haven't checked out my videos about these 2 dogs, there's a video titled A Tale of 2 Dogs, which is based on these 2 dogs here. For those of you who are new to my channel, these are not my dogs. These are my neighbor's dogs, but they come down every single day I'm out here, and they just want to be with me all day long. So go and check out that video, because I put a lot of effort doing that video. I would very much appreciate it. Another beautiful sunny day here in north central Portugal. Yesterday I have done this. Let me show you. This area now has a fence all the way around, so now that will stop the dogs going in there and destroy my vegetables. So about this very exciting opportunity I was telling you about. Right, so this house I'm renting, this one right behind me there, it also comes with a barn, which is just down the road. Let me quickly show you. Right, this is my area I just show you. So just down the road there, you see that? That is the barn I'm talking about. So when I first moved to Portugal, I came to Portugal with lots of stuff, like a whole food truckload. And you know, this is a small house. There was no way it would fit everything in. I had like lots of furnitures and lots of boxes of just stuff, right? And my landlady said, "Hey, there's a barn up there, right, with concrete floor. You can store your stuff there." So I say, "Wait, well, no, that's great. I can do that." So anyway, so when I moved here, she gave me a bunch of keys that includes upstairs, downstairs here, and then over there with the barn. Anyway, so I managed to open the barn door, which I will show you in a minute. But it's not what I thought it looks like. Right, so let me walk closer to the barn to show you what it looks like. So this barn has been here for ages. It has a new roof on it, but it hasn't got electricity, water, or gas. As far as I know, the landlady used to, or one of her family used to use this barn to keep animals. You see the cage on the side. I was told that they used to keep chicken there, but obviously not anymore. As you can see, it's all disintegrated. So I think the barn is about, I'm not very good with size, 4 meters by 3 meters, maybe. And it's about 1 story height, as you can see, not that tall. Anyway, so I came to this barn. There's a door here, and there's a window. And let me show you what's inside. Here's the door. I just opened it. I got a bodyguard here. So inside here, it's full of spiders. As you can see, excuse me, doggy, excuse me. It is full of stuff and spider webs. But, and stuff, I think these are stuff from the previous people, or it's just been using as storage. But as you can see, it's not that big at all. This is like one section of the barn. There's a wall here, and there's just this side, that's it. So I thought to myself, hold on a minute, you know, this is a small space, and it's not concrete floor either, so I can't store my stuff here. So I walk around the barn. So that's the door. I walk around the barn, and when I first came here, this is just all brambles, totally bramble from the wall all the way to the road. But behind the bramble, there is a door. You see that? So that door must be an access to the back of the house. As you can see, the house, you know, this barn house, it's much bigger than the room we just gone in there. I mean, you can kind of see, let me go closer. You can see where the wall, you know, that wall was. So that section of the barn is still available. However, the problem is I haven't got the key to open this door. And I asked the landlady, and she doesn't know anything about the key to open this door, right? So for as long as I've been living here, I basically have not had any access to this barn here until a couple of weeks ago when my landlady came, and I was talking to her about this barn, and she keeps saying, "Oh yeah, you can use it, it's fine." And I told her like, "Yeah, but I haven't got the key. I can't access to the barn." So she said, "Okay, I will get my cousin to come and open the door for you, and break the lock and change the lock so you can use the barn, because it's all clean, it's all concrete floor. You can store all your stuff in here. It'll be much better, and that's great. Anyway, so a couple of days later, her cousin came, and he managed to open the door, and let me show you what's inside. All right, I've just opened the door, and ta-da! Right, look at this. You can see it. They used to, keep animals here because the floor is straw. But what I find amazing about this space, I don't know whether it's concrete floor yet because I haven't gone down to the floor yet. As you can see, this is where I got my straws from my vegetable garden, and there's still plenty left. But yeah, anyway, so what I find amazing about this space is look at the height. Look at that. This is like 2 floors. But from the outside, it's only 1 floor height. So this is amazing. Like, I'm really excited about this space. And because there's no electricity here, no water, I was trying to brainstorm idea of what I can use this space for. So, I am in central Portugal, north central Portugal. It gets really hot in here and really cold in the winter, and it gets super humid. So I had 2 ideas, or if you can think of something else, leave in the comment below and let me know what you think. There is plenty of space here that I can set up shelves, units here, and there's the height. There is already some kind of breeze that comes in here. It keeps the humidity and it keeps everything cool. So I think this is a fantastic space to grow mushrooms. And the second idea I have is to have quails. So I've always wanted to have, try to raise some quails. Chicken ideally, but chicken requires a lot of space, and they're very noisy and they're very stinky. If you have chicken yourself, you know what I mean. So quails takes a lot less space, less stinky. I haven't done much research on it yet, but that is the idea. So 2 ideas: quails and mushrooms. So I know in Portugal the Portuguese eat both quails and mushrooms. So it could be a good idea. So initially, what I was thinking is to have mushroom at the back, the bigger space, and quails at the front, because I'm gonna have quails in shelf cages, so they don't require a lot of space. But then to think about it, maybe I would have mushroom at the front and quails at the back, because quails, well, they don't need a lot of space. They do, I need space to keep their feed or equipment. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, let me know what you think, what I should do with this barn. Maybe you have a better idea than I do. Yeah, leave in a comment below and let me know what you think. So about a month ago, I had a car accident, and I thought it might be interesting to share my experience with you, because as a foreigner who live in a foreign country and doesn't speak the language very well, it could be a very daunting experience. Even for me, who has been a foreigner most of my life, I left my home country when I was 9 years old, and I have been living as a foreigner since. So this is what happened. I drove up to a little village up the mountain to see my friends, and I parked outside the church, and I was gone for about 3 hours. When I came back to my car, the backlight was smashed. Judging by the damage, you can see that somebody crashed into my car. The backlight was in pieces all over the floor, and obviously I was pretty shocked to see what happened, and I was pretty upset about it. There were a couple of people standing outside the church at the time. One of the guys walked towards me and picked up a piece of paper that was on my window wiper, and there was a number on it. And my Portuguese is barely good enough face to face, let alone, talking on the phone. So I asked a Portuguese friend of mine to give this number a call. So he did. And he came back to me and said they would take full responsibility of the crash. The car that crashed into my car was a municipal car, and they would do all the paperwork. They would get my car fixed, and they would pay for everything. And this guy is going to call me the next day to get everything sorted. So I picked up all the broken pieces and I went back home. And obviously, I still wasn't very happy about the whole situation because it's such a hassle. Anyway, so the next day came, and by 12 o'clock noon, this guy hasn't called me yet. So I asked my friend to call him again, and this guy doesn't pick up. So I waited till about 3 o'clock, and my friend tried to call this guy again, and he still hasn't picked up. So I starting to panic because, maybe this guy was just trying to fob off the whole accident, and I should have called the police and get everything reported. Anyway, so I drove to town to see my insurance broker. I told him what happened, and I showed him all the photos I took. And he filled in an accident form for me the right way, obviously, because I wouldn't know how to fill that in. And he tried to call this guy, and obviously this guy doesn't pick up again. And he tried a couple of times, and this guy still doesn't pick up. I kind of starting to worry, and so I thought maybe if I put his number on my phone, his number would pop up on WhatsApp. As expected, his number did pop up on my phone, and together with that, there was a face on his profile. So now I know what this guy looks like, and I can identify who this guy is. So I show my insurance broker, his face picture, and I asked him, "Do you know who this guy is?" And he said, "Yeah, of course. This town is very small. There's only a population about 6,000 people, so it's a small town, small community." Anyway, so my insurance broker has this business with his wife together, and his wife actually know this guy personally. So he asked his wife to call this guy for us. And obviously, because she called him with her personal number, he picked up. And this guy explained to her again, they're going to take full responsibility of the accident. They're going to get my car repaired, everything's paid for. And apparently, we also found out that this guy is not the person who crashed into my car. He was just the guy who worked with the Municipal, and he's kind of like the guy who responsible to sort these things out. The guy told her that we can't do any of get this form filled at the moment because they have only just finished the cheese festival and they kind of like finishing everything up, and they asked me to wait for 1 week, which is fine, it's okay, but there is a problem because it was the backlights. Basically, I don't have a right hand signal, and I only have one brake light. Technically, it's illegal to drive a car without one signal. It's okay to drive with one brake light, but it's not okay to drive with one signal. And it's likely that I'm going to get pulled over by police, which is exactly what I don't want to do. Anyway, so there was basically nothing I can do about it. My insurance broker said, he's going to sort it out and he's going to call me once this thing is sorted out. So this car is my only mode of transportation to leave my house or come back to my house. If I had to walk to town, it would take me over an hour. So I still had to drive my car. While I was in town, I thought maybe if I change the light bulb, it might work. So I went and got myself a new light bulb, and luckily both light works. So now I've got a signal light, which is great, and I've got brake light, which is great. So now my car is technically legal to drive. However, it's still got a broken light, so there is a possibility that I might get stopped by police. But most importantly, it was during the rainy season, and I really want to, protect my lights. I don't want any water getting into my car. I have to be creative at this point. I bought some super glue, and I have managed to glue most of the broken pieces together, and it was pretty good cover. And then basically I glued the light cover back onto my car, and then I used tape to tape it, on the back, and it was doing its job. So I was happy to wait. Anyway, so I think about 4 days later, my insurance broker gave me a call, and he said, follow him to a mechanic to get my car inspect to see how much damage it is and how long the mechanic needs to take to fix my car. So I drove my car to the mechanic, and I left my car there. Now the problem is, without a car, basically I can't get home and I can't leave the house. So I asked my insurance broker about a courtesy car, but he told me in Portugal getting a courtesy car is almost impossible. It's a super complicated procedure. And not only that, I have to go to the big city that's about 25 minutes away. I don't know, I think I was told that you have to pay for deposit to get a courtesy car. I mean, I know my car is about 26 years old. I only got a third-party insurance, which I pay about €257 for, which is, for me, I think it's a lot. I thought my insurance would come with a courtesy car. I mean, I don't know, but you think that's what insurance is for. Anyway, so my insurance broker said to me, you know what, it's so complicated. There is no chance you're gonna get a courtesy car, but I have got a spare car and you can use it, which is extremely grateful from my side because I really needed a car. My microphone decided to die, so anyway, carry on with the story. The mechanic told my broker that it would take 4 days to fix my car, and surprisingly, I think on the third day I had a call from my insurance broker, and he told me my car is fixed. And he came to pick me up, and he drove me to the mechanic, and I picked up my car, and I signed the paper from the mechanic. The cost to fix the car was €760, which I don't have to pay for because, the Municipal is paying for that, which I'm really grateful for because that is a lot of money. Yeah, basically that's the whole story. I was lucky to have a really, really good insurance broker. Louis, if you're watching this, thank you so much for helping me out and lending me your car. That was a lifesaver. So yeah, so the whole experience isn't too bad, in my opinion, and luckily it was only a small crash. And I'm grateful that I have friends who can help me with the whole situation.